If you live in California, specifically in the San Francisco Bay Area, you'll probably know about the long-term danger that lurks due to the nearby presence of the San Andreas Fault. Yet, it is a common misconception that the San Andreas Fault is the most likely regional fault line to cause damage within the city. The reason for this is that not all of the regional stresses caused by the Pacific Plate sliding past the North American Plate to the east are released via earthquakes specifically on the San Andreas Fault, as some of this pressure is released on a series of adjacent faults, most of which parallel or almost parallel the 800-mile-long San Andreas Fault. Altogether, hundreds of these closely spaced faults exist, comprising what is known as the San Andreas Fault Zone. Thus, while there is a 21% or about 1 in 5 chance that the San Andreas Fault will produce a magnitude 6.7 or larger earthquake in the next 30 years somewhat close to San Francisco, the combined complex of the Rogers Creek and Hayward Faults has a 33% or about 1 in 3 chance of creating a magnitude 6.7 or larger earthquake in the next 30 years. This 95-mile-long San Andreas Fault Zone fault is 95 miles long, has the capability to produce up to magnitude 7.2 earthquakes, and actually has produced large magnitude 6 or higher events in 1315, 1470, 1630, 1725, 1868, and 1898. In other words, a magnitude 6 or 7 event seems to occur on this fault once every 90 to 170 years, and it has been 126 years since its last major quake, which registered in as a magnitude 6.4. But there are also other regional faults as well that could produce similar magnitude quakes, including the Calaveras Fault, the Mount Diablo Thrust Fault, and the Concord Creek Valley Fault. In summary, the combined odds of a magnitude 5.0 earthquake or higher striking the San Francisco region are about 61% each year, while the odds of a magnitude 6.0 or higher striking the same region is about 16%. However, I want to note that this is heavily skewed towards many larger events occurring in the years before but largely after larger magnitude earthquakes, representing foreshocks and aftershocks respectively. So, because all of this motion is slowly being caused by the Pacific tectonic plate moving to the north-northwest, does this mean that California will fall into the sea one day or become an island? This is a common misconception, as future modeling actually shows that yes, the far western sliver of California will continue to move to the north, but that it will also remain connected with land on the North American plate. Also, no single earthquake, even at the most extreme conditions possible on the San Andreas Fault, can cause the ground to move more than 10 meters or 32.8 feet. In films, you may have seen large cracks suddenly open up and swallow buildings and cars when a large magnitude earthquake occurs on the San Andreas Fault. Is this realistic? No, but there is a catch. Typically, large multi-meter-wide fissures only form as a result of large extensional or normal fault-related earthquakes, and you must remember that the San Andreas fault line is a strike-slip fault. Yet, fissures can still form regardless of fault line type when a major magnitude earthquake occurs in two situations. One, due to liquefaction, which can cause cracks in the roads or the ground above them to appear, or if a large, slow-moving landslide is triggered. However, even these are unlikely to be large enough to swallow whole buildings and cars. Can a destructive tsunami occur as the result of a major San Andreas earthquake? Most likely not, but once again, there is a catch. The San Andreas Fault does not move in a manner which creates vertical motion, so water is not uplifted offshore when a major quake occurs. A minor submarine landslide, however, might explain why a 4-inch high tsunami was observed after the magnitude 7.9 San Andreas earthquake struck in 1906. However, although it is highly unlikely, a major San Andreas earthquake could technically cause a major landslide to occur where material on land enters the ocean and displaces the water within it, and this could technically generate a fairly sizable tsunami, perhaps upwards of 10 or 20 feet. Can a magnitude 9 earthquake occur from the San Andreas Fault? No, as the largest earthquake the San Andreas fault line could theoretically produce is a magnitude 8.3. As a final note, I would like to thank my new patron Zach Hoyt for supporting this channel.